Barbino was Barbino. See, Black is in the building, man. Somebody was putting in the comments the other day about a preacher versus Wayne Perry, and I thought about this, and I said, no, I'm gonna do a short video on this. Wayne Perry never told. He was a loyal soldier, like a lot of his, and that's why I say the game is a dirty game. He was a loyal soldier to the cause, and his boss allegedly told on him. Yeah, told on him. Not even allegedly, but told on him. Preacher, he was sending hits out, putting in pain the black hand to death. He wind up cooperating because he didn't want the death penalty. And then Sammy the Bull, he emotionally told, I guess. I guess he's saying he heard some wiretaps where John Gotti was talking crazy about him. So he decided to cooperate against John Gotti. Plus a couple of other mob figures. But the weird part about his cooperating is he only got like 5 or 6 years for that for on John Gotti. Then Sammy the Bull went back to the feds for a conspiracy with something that dealt with the ecstasy pill ring. He didn't tell on that case. He just basically sucked that, whatever, how much time he did out of that. You know what I'm saying? What's this guy name? Nicky Barnes. Nicky Barnes cooperated. He told out of emotion. Allegedly, Nicky Barnes told because he felt that Guy Fisher violated. So he sent a bunch of good guys to jail for the rest of their life. So this is what I mean, it's a dirty game. I mean, we glorify the game, we glorify the war stories, we glorify the money. For all those that never got told on, that's a great thing by your crew members. Or, you know what I'm saying? But you know it's a dirty game when your boss tells on you, right? It's a dirty game when, even with the Wild Cowboys, I believe it was Nelson, one of the bosses, began to tell on the soldiers. Bodies, giving the bodies up. I'm not trying to do the rest of my life in jail. And you know, when you have a case with like 8, 9 bodies and you able to clear 8, 9 bodies, sometimes they look out for you. And they gave, you know, I believe Nelson should be home. He only had 25 years. You know what I'm saying? The sad part about it is, the youngest name that didn't tell was Wayne Perry. Yeah. That's a long story, man. That's crazy, man. That's what I didn't know till somebody put me on the game. I said, what? Didn't, you know, I know it, but I knew about I sort of knew about the Jamie-O. I thought Ali Mo died over a female. That's what I thought. I thought somebody mistaken him for mess with some female, something happened. But the truth comes out, man. You know what, Jazoon? You're right. There's no rules. There's definitely no rules, man. And I just think that we was around when we was in the street. We may have been around some people that might have loved us, that might have felt like some of the crimes that we committed, that they didn't want us to sit in jail for the rest of our lives. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty much happy that the crew I grew up around, we didn't have no bodies, man. That there was no bodies, man. I mean, situations happen, but there was no 8, 9 bodies. You wasn't in those situations to be sitting up for 8, 9 bodies. Like I said, we glorify the game, man. We glorify this, man. But when you sit back and you think about it, right? Wayne Perry got convicted of like 20 bodies, man, like 16, 17 bodies. The man who told on him was his friend, was his boss. Not his friend, but his boss. And his boss words is it was either me or him, basically. Like, you know what I mean? You know, Preacher, he didn't care. He told on his kids. You know what I'm saying? Yo, this the game. We glorify a dirty game. I think, you know, we some of us got the fashions out the game, the fashionables. Some of us may have believed that the game helped us get out of poverty. But yo, what's a dirty game, man? I just mentioned like 3, 4 top position people that told on their organizations. Nelson told Wild Cowboys. That was crazy. The whole Nelson situation was crazy. He giving up bodies. But you know what I'm saying? He's the reason why a couple of his friends is tied up for the rest of their life in New York State prison. That man just got out. I believe he just got out. You know what I'm saying? He never got out. They never got out. Sammy the Bull, John Gotti wound up passing away in the feds, plus numerous other people went to jail playing with Sammy. Sammy told them more than John Gotti. But we just know about John Gotti. Then Sammy the Bull also, he said his cooperation was due to John Gotti talking crazy about him, letting him hear wide tap. And you know what's so funny, man? A lot of times, a lot of dudes cooperate because of that. You know, a lot of dudes you have around you really may not even like you after a while when it comes to the bread. And it's a sacrifice, man. You're also with the bodies. What? The bodies. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, good morning. The game is a dirty game, man. The game has never been a fair game. If you had some exactly, you know what I'm saying? It's a dirty game, man. And when you hear your friends talking about they want to kill you, some dudes go, what? I'm telling. And some dudes don't, you know what I'm saying? Nicky Barnes, look what Nicky Barnes did. Nicky Barnes put together a complete, he even sent his baby mother, his wife to jail. He gave her, I think she did like a dime. Sent Tito Johnson to jail. You want to mess with my baby, you want to mess with my wife? He sent him to jail. Yeah. Gotti was in his feelings. But you know what I'm saying? Sammy heard that and said, what? I'm telling. I'm not sitting the rest of my life in jail for this man. And this is what happens, man. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens. Even though this guy was a stone cold killer, he killed his brother-in-law. Anybody could kill your brother-in-law and go to your family function. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? They use that, right? That's crazy. Somebody who could actually kill their brother-in-law and go to a family function. Yeah. Hell yeah, he got caught in that pill situation. That was crazy. He got Sammy the Bull. They was trying to kill him. John Gotti's brother and them was trying to kill him. Yep. You know what I'm saying? He sent Tito Johnson straight to jail. You want to ride around in cars with my baby mother. He gave her a dime. This is crazy. And these are, and so when we speak about the streets, again, it goes, the guys that made the money sent dudes to jail. So we have to look at the things that we glorify. I mean, we all be yo millionaire Cali, you know what I'm saying? We got to look at the things that we glorify, because now we're going to get back on what's the difference. Wayne Perry took his time like the people's champ. Prince took his time like the people's champ. Believe it or not, even though I don't think Prince got convicted of the bodies, they just held that over him when they convicted his ass. When they convicted Prince, he found a way to boom. Even the same thing with Preem. When Preem got caught, dudes began to cooperate. You know what I'm saying? It's a dirty game. If you're not a killer, stay out the kitchen. Understand what type of dudes you're dealing with. When you're dealing with individuals that don't care about nothing about life, then you are gonna be a sacrifice. I remember when I was younger, and these guys, they did something crazy one day. It was no murder one spree thing. They threw a homeless guy over the bridge on 105th Street off of Ward's Island. I remember that. And I remember you can't have 4 or 5 co-defendants. I think it was like 4 or 5 co-defendants. They all told on son the biggest guy. The biggest guy, that's my man, Romy Rome Cousin. I remember Romy Rome Cousin. Romy Rome used to dance with the rap group Ziggy. I seen his son on the island. Don't say when I was on the island. He was going to trial. This is, we talking about 1991, 92, 91, 92. The guy's still up north. He had like 30 years for that. He had 20-something years and he's still up north. Since the last time I seen him, he was in jail. You know what I'm saying? Because Cody's told on him. Back then, for a body, you was getting At the least 5 to 15. Something homeless, 5 to 15. A lot of dudes, they want to believe the truth. They allowed their co-defendants to tell them. You know what I'm saying? My other friend, my man, shout out to Alex, man. Alex is the people champ, man. Something happened. He went to a situation happened at Gracie Mansion where the mayor resides at in New York City, Manhattan, off of York Ave. Something. They killed somebody behind Gracie Mansion. Again, 4 or 5 dudes you running with. Homicide D start snatching up some dudes. Some dudes told on my man, but my man wasn't stupid. You're not gonna get me the rest of my life in jail. And he caught a 5 to 15. But still in all, he like, damn, if I didn't go out, if I didn't, because Alex was getting money, you know what I'm saying? So Alex didn't have to go hang out with them to get caught up in that. The simple mistake of allowing dudes that don't like you, that don't really deal with you, that you might be cool with, but they're not going to go to jail for the rest of their life with you. You know what I'm saying? You really see those crews. Even in Central Park 5, what got them jail time was they all told on each other. Don't get it twisted. They was all in the park that night. They all was in that park that night. They all was in the park that night. That's what projects used to do. They used to link up and just go downtown. They used to call it like Wild and Wolf, whatever you want to call it. And they used to, the whole purpose of going downtown was to cause destruction to the white community. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only thing riding bikes through Central Park at 12 o'clock at night. In that era, if you seen a black man riding the bike on Central Park, he stole it. You know what I'm saying? And they all told on each other because they didn't know who did what. They just knew, okay, Dad, he did it. Oh, I seen him do it. Oh, I'm not too sure who did, but one thing for sure. That was the thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you began to have to make a decision. How you want to live life. My man's always say, if I'm gonna do my crimes, I'm gonna do my crimes all by myself. Sit back there. I'm gonna do this by myself. I'm not gonna be a fool and doing it in front of a crowd of people because people are gonna tell. This is what Sammy the Bull told. This is when, the most craziest thing. Yep, the most craziest thing about Nicky Barnes, about Nicky Barnes was a dirty dude, man. He told to get out of jail because all he wound up doing was like 28 years. You know what I'm saying? And he allowed his feelings to supersede his intelligence. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Out of all the people he got murdered, let's not talk about how Guy Fisher was messing with his wife, or Tito Johnson was messing with his wife, and Shamika, whatever the case may be. No matter how many people this man has said murder him for $3. Kill him. I want him off the count. How many individuals he said this to? No matter how many guys Pretty Nicky said this to, when it was time for his karma, even if it was messed with, did he really believe that these like you know what I'm saying? When it came back for his karma, he told. He got on that stand and said he murdered him. Yo, go to his house, go sell him a brick. Yo, I read his book. Yo, Nicky Barnes put together a well-planned drug operation that was going to be taken down by the feds. He was making weird connections, calling dudes, yo, tell him to meet my man, he got 23 bricks. Yo, hit my man, he got this amount of bricks. Yo, hit my man, he got boom. Nicky sent his friends to jail. There's a couple of them he felt bad for. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he outlived him though, Tony. You ain't never lie. You know what I'm saying? Sent him to jail, boom. But this is the boss of the operation, the guy who was actually, get him. Yo, get him. What? Get him. So this is what I'm trying to say. It's a dirty game. The rules was weird. But there was some crews that never told, like some crew off of Brook Ave, which was amazing. They caught a case by the feds, and they just sucked up their consequences. Some got forever and a day, and some didn't. You know what I'm saying? He was just setting up. He said he set up his own drug operation. It was crazy. He had to wean up from the feds. You know what I'm saying? It was weird. He said he had to wean up from the feds. I don't know. I seen an HBO special one time, and some guy went in on Nicky Barnes. They said that he said he was some fed dudes because they said I seen that HBO special, the one that Gangsta Lou was on, when I guess Rikers Island in jail, and they showed that some guy was like, F Nicky. He ratted on my son. Yeah. He's some dudes. Yeah, said Tony Hayes. I remember that joint. He was on. So I was watching the HBO joint. Dude was mopping the hallways, and he was like, "F Nikki." You know what I'm saying? You had on my son. Yeah, he sent a lot of good dudes to jail because he was playing. Because he was playing the plug. He was playing like he had the plug. He was playing the plug for them. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll have the federal agents had the bricks and they go, yo, my man got 500 grams. Yo, this guy was ill. The same thing with Son. Did he tell son from DC? Rayful Edmonds, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's not that they tell, it's just that the game is a dirty game. So somebody asks, what's the difference between them? There's really not. The only difference is Wayne Perry was a stand-up dude. You know what I'm saying? Wayne Perry was a stand-up dude, man, and he didn't, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's why. Because for every great war story, you gotta hear who told on who. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You gotta hear a story. I would tell you who did more telling for me. It was more so Fat Cat's sister told on Pappy more than I think what's his name? Fat Cat. I don't think Fat Cat. And allegedly, somebody came home from the federal penitentiary saying that Pappy said that Fat Cat never told on him, but we all know that Viola told. You know what I'm saying? She definitely got on that stand, man. You know what I'm saying? Pappy stood by the rules and regulations of the game. He understood what the game was. He just didn't tell. He just, his mom's got caught up. She got a dime. He ain't care. You know what I'm saying? He ain't send nobody to jail when his mom's went to jail. He sucked that law. It's what come with the game. But some people don't look at it like that, man. Some people, freedom means more than anything else. Even if you tell somebody, right? Like my boy was telling me. He goes, you caught, you got a lot of money, you know what position you in. The feds is telling you what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? The feds is telling you what you're looking at, right? So now the feds is telling you you're looking at 30 or 40 years. Okay, you're looking at a dime here. But it's your prior felonies, I forgot what they call it, you might be looking at this. Yeah, I guess so. I'm saying he never told. You have a point there. I guess Wayne was the stand-up dude because his boyfriend was laying down. I'm not lying. Yo, Rusty, it's a dirty game, Rusty. It's a dirty game, Salute. Remember, I was 40 in the South Side. Oh man, you know what I'm saying? It's a dirty game, man. Yo, the game is so dirty, man. And it's messed up because when you hear everything else that these people was into, you be like, oh, God. You know what I'm saying? They got all type of weird stories. Because you don't really figure out the life that most of these individuals lived until the cooperating and the hate mail start coming. Like, word? This is what he was doing at 2 o'clock in the morning? Mr. C? Shout out to Mr. C, man. He was doing the Mr. C at 2 o'clock in the morning, riding around. It's crazy. But when it comes to the game is a dirty game. And the reason why I did this because somebody asked me, that's only, you know what I'm saying? I mean, when you just catching bodies, we can talk about how many bodies somebody caught or who they smoked or how they smoked them. But you gotta think about it, man. A person feel that, listen, we be looking at 20 years like it's a long time. When dudes get caught when they're 20 years old, and they're telling them you're looking at 20 years, some people can feel I can do it. And we see it. You see a lot of dudes that's coming home 25 years later, 22 years later. So a lot of individuals that we be like, yo, why he told for? We thinking, oh, he got 20 years because we ain't gonna send nobody a package. But they know in their head, I'm about to do 20 years in jail. As my man was telling me, he's like, nah, Z, this is, you know what you get. Like when you know you're going to the feds, like I said, and you got the extra joint, then that's when dudes be telling. Because a lot of dudes be like, they don't want the extra dime or the extra 8 years. So they're like, oh no. Protection witness. I'm gonna give up 4 bodies for y'all. See, the bodies really close a lot of cold cases. A lot of those homicides close cases. for precincts. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they all work in conjunction. Out of all the drugs that you can sell in the world, they care about them homicides. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's written in stone. You know what I'm saying? It's like my man, and it's funny because I'm not gonna mention this guy name, right? But my other man, it's funny. They was in PA, somewhere in PA, somewhere in Pennsylvania, on small towns by Allentown, and they sold a bad bag of whatever. The guy dies, he ODs. They throw the guy in the back alley somewhere. One of the guys that was there, it's like I say, nice and slow, so you understand what I'm talking about. He gets caught for something else. When he gets caught for something else, I guess he tells the police about the body. He beat them to the punch. Yo, boom, my man caught the body. I did that, the third thing in the dump. But, you know, when it comes to heroin overdoses, the feds pick them cases up. So this is how dirty the game is. The guy got caught for something else. They let him go. Boom. Okay, they threw the wiretap on him. They threw the... He hangs out with Duke, and they got the texts he gives. But all the texts, a lot of texts that they had or information was all in another person's cell phone. So now they go to a club. And then I knew it because we went to the club, and I'm like, why is so many weird people standing around, looking around? I'm like, nah, son, this is weird. So I told some dudes I was out there, like, yo, it felt like police is outside. And old boy was like, nah, there ain't no police. I said, this feels weird. Why you got somebody sitting right there looking at the, you know what I'm saying? A car sitting right there, dude. It just felt weird because the dudes that we were standing around was heavy hitters. You know what I'm saying? So, found to be, son loses his cell phone. He said in the club. So now this is what I mean about friends. Duke done bought this guy jackets. He done bought this guy garments. They done drove around cars. They done had matching jackets like they was the Bocce twins, the Bootsy twins. These guys was like tough little leather. He loses his cell phone. The cell phone goes into the hands of the feds. Boom. I don't know how this happens. They got the cell phone now. Now they're supposed to be co-defendants. Feds decide, okay, we coming in now. We got the information we needed. Then they began to snatch up all the involved parties. The person who had the apartment, who house where the person died at, the person who actually, you know what I'm saying? All the elements. They start snatching the elements. So when they snatch the son up, they snatch him off the street, but they never snatch the other one up. So you understand what I'm saying? Now you would think, why would somebody who you look out for, boom, you know what I'm saying? You get caught with something, they're telling you, yo, do you have information on that person that OD'd in the alley? You tell them, yeah, you know the guy, blah, 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 blah. They make it look like you was co-defendant. Duke copped out to 23 years in the feds. Now, not too many people has been known to run for the feds for 2-3 summers. The guy who passed the cell phone, or what else information he had to pass, is still free. You know what I'm saying? You have to, that's why I said it's a dirty game, man. And the game, like I said, the game is dirty with no rules. And some people will say, well, why did you do this for? And there'll always somebody say, it's no good. He used to lie to me. You know, they come up with the reasons of why they told. He's messing with my girl. He's a liar. He promised me something if I gave it to me. He used to act funny with his money. But when you look outside looking in, like I said, outside looking in, he bought you a jacket, y'all was switching up sneakers. He let you drive the whip. Whenever he got some work, he put you on to the work. And then when the smoke clears, you're one of the main culprits who sent him to jail for 20-something years, man. So that's what I mean. The game is a dirty game. The principles, it's never really been, it's just, you got stand-up dudes in the game that just live by the principles and morals and all this other craziness. You know what I'm saying? Be careful. That's why find something legal to do. This is why you have to find something legal to do, seriously. You know what I'm saying? Because people just think about one person because they assume there's a lot of individuals that this has been crazy. Look at Rayful Edmonds. He had a situation going on through the phones. Boom, what happened? Start telling. We can say another stand-up individual, no matter what happened, was Pistol Pete. He actually got all that time. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like he could have told on his friends for things he had them doing. And he probably would, if he'd have told on his friends for the things he had them doing, he probably would have went to 80X. You know what I'm saying? He might have only got like 30, 40 years. Nah, they went down there. They wasn't playing because he was called from the feds getting dudes hit allegedly. So they was gonna let that ride. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's one thing with the feds. You're not gonna use their telephone line to get nothing to hit. And even though he wasn't in the feds and thinking down south, I think he was in federal custody. They took that personal. You know what I'm saying? Like on our time, you was getting dudes hit because you got some people, families who can sue. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, y'all hear this guy made phone calls from the penitentiary. Like, I'm gonna tell you who lucked up without telling. A lot of him. I gotta give him credit for that one. He only got like 30 years, but you gotta consider what they were saying that he was involved with to get 30 years in the feds. We're not wishing jail on nobody, but we're gonna say is, you know what I'm saying? Because it's in all natural reality, it's a dirty game, man. I remember my man Rashid, right? Rashid, he had a criminalist co-defendant. Rashid Rice. He got caught. He didn't really get caught in a wild cowboy situation. He got caught up playing with somebody that was like, yo, I guess their thing was, if anybody come over here with some short numbers, you know what I'm saying? They I guess violate them. So I guess one night they allegedly smoked something. But the crazy part was one of the people that was telling on them was one of the bosses that was bringing up the crime. My man Rashid Rice, he got 40 years. He's been in jail since 1993. Rashid Rice has only been home was only home free because he did 5 years in DFY. Came home, was free in the street for 2 years and caught 40. A lot of our street legends' names is saying something crazy. Even the real 50 Cent, they say he told on somebody. So you gotta understand, man. We love these war stories, but there's a difference. The difference with Wayne Perry is Wayne Perry sucked his time and let the people champ. He could have got caught and just started, he could have got caught and told about other bodies. Because, at one point in time, D.C. was the murder capital of the United States of America. You know what I'm saying? So, he could have gave a, you know what I'm saying? And I still don't know how, but it was. So, I guess per people or whatever count, but D.C. was wild back then, man. There was a lot of narcotics in that whole DMV area. This is why when you make it out the game, you appreciate it. You appreciate your friends not telling on you for those homicides. There's a bunch of people that's sitting in jail now because their boss or the person who put them up to it told on them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And this is, and I think, so there's not really, the only difference is Wayne Perry ain't tell. You know what I'm saying? Prince never told. There's a lot of good dudes that just never told. I believe it was the Willis Ave crew. They didn't tell. They all called. The ones that basically was co-defendants, they never told. Some crew on Willis Ave in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there's one or two that's got forever and a day because the bodies. Bob Lemon never told. Bob Lemon did his time at the People Champ. You know what I'm saying? He just came home too. You know what I'm saying? Boy George never told. You had dudes that just give me my time. I'm gonna suck up these consequences. Fight my appeal. But you'll be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, rat. That's, what's so funny? You just said that there was a guy I was locked up with, right? And this guy that was locked up, he was messing with this girl who boyfriend was the plug. He was cheating her one night, and one night the guy had some work somewhere. They stopped the car, but the work was under the seat, so they both played blind. Now, I don't know who work it is. I don't know who work it is. So they charged them both with it, but when it comes to a case like that, possession is 9/10 of the law. So you got to prove this is mine. You know what I'm saying? This is before they really started fingerprinting and all type of otherness to figure out who narcotics it was. Because all it is my car. That's it. You got to prove I knew this thing was sitting there. The girl boyfriend goes, who's getting money, yo, man, tell him something, man. Don't worry about it. I got you. And that's what she did. She said, nah, that was his drugs. And do when I'm doing like 5 years, like not even five, like 2, 3 years for that. You know what I'm saying? It was popping, Nathan Jones. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So that's definitely the same category. Some dudes do that though. They don't get it twisted. You got some dudes that do that. You got some dudes that use the missile. Yo, I need you to go down there and cooperate. You know what I'm saying? That happens. That happens all the time, man. So the streets is a dirty game. It's definitely a dirty game, man, and it's just how you. It's how you look at it. That's why you find something legal to do. We glorify the glory. We understand the glory. You gotta understand, preacher was the devil. He was the devil. On the streets, he was fearless. Black hand. He decided that you live or die when it came to dealing with him and his business. Got caught, said, I'm not trying to die. So I'm gonna give up. He probably was really hitting for freedom. You know what I'm saying? But the best he can get is the rest of your life in the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? Look at Apple. Apple got snatched up, started cooperating. Boom. He still did like 20-something years, but you see what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to talk about Apple's situation. Salute Harlem Double. We're going to talk about the situation with Apple. You understand what I'm saying? So it boils down to we understand the game. We come from a different cloth. We come from a different era. But there was also some disgusting behavior going on in that era. I love you. Some disgusting behavior going on in that era. And we have to also recognize that as well. When we speak of preacher in a good way, we have to think about the bad way. He was a killer. He killed a lot of good dudes, a lot of well-known dudes, a lot of individuals that he was in their pockets. He was a dangerous guy. But when it came to him believing that he was going to die in that penitentiary, he tried to fight his wizard way out. If he had more information to give, he probably would. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what happens all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that CEO Chris thing, that's not the first time that has happened. That's what I'm trying to tell you, let you guys know. It's not the first time it has happened. You know what I'm saying? Things that happen when you have 40 co-defendants. You're going to have some guys who's going to cooperate. But the worst part is the person who actually sends you on these dummy missions, and they're the ones that tell on you. For all the funny reasons. Oh, a girl. Most of the time, somebody tell, believe it or not, it's over a female. I always heard a lot about him. Frank Matthews, he was out of Brooklyn. Smart guy, because when it's time to get low, whatever he did the right way. And that's what you got to do. Whatever Frank Matthews did, he did the right way because he never got caught. They never seen him again. You know what I'm saying? They say, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean about the game. I think the game, like people have gotten too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So it's like y'all be so surprised. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be too surprised, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times y'all do be surprised, man. Like even hearing the Quarterfield story, hearing how he was just in tune with these cops. Not saying that Quarterfield was telling from Ocean Hill Brown Zoo, but how he was in tune with this cop that made a story and was saying like the police was watching and whatever the case may be when they killed him. And in that situation, you know what I'm saying? That's just crazy to hear. This murderous killer, extortionist is this cool with the police. You said, what I think about that? That's shaky business. But we'll never know the truth until somebody get mad and expose that paperwork. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we find out things when people get upset, when people stop looking out, when the package don't come, when I go, yo, son, send that 300 over there. Then that's when the truth comes out. Matter of fact, salute. That's when a lot of the information come out when somebody gets upset at you. You know what I'm saying? So we will never know. We'll never know until Mel Matrix don't get a package. You know what I'm saying? The feds do play a dirty game. I was reading something yesterday with some guys I knew. That went crazy down south. I guess some of the people in the car started sucking up charges. I don't know if he got probation or something, but I think a couple of people began to suck up charges. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But again, we'll only find out if he don't do the right thing. Cause that's how the game goes. Everybody keep everything a secret until the game gets distorted. You know what I'm saying? We'll never know. Yeah, because I heard a bunch of people in the car began to suck charges of. Exactly. He's either lucky, bone, or but we'll never know. Because you see, we'll only find out a lot of times, man, and that's why I tell people, right? Somebody asks me about plea agreements. We don't know what they plead to. So we don't know the rest of somebody's paperwork. What's the only thing that's public is when you go to trial. Your transcripts. When you go to trial, you might get you might be able to get grand jury minutes. But when you cop out, you don't get everything else, which is like the discovery. You got to put it for you in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So the only way that comes out is if somebody gets mad. It's a dirty game. And they go, yo, this is what he did to me 10 years ago. Yeah, nobody, you're right about Wade. That's the guy Scarpa, the hitter, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they go in those rooms and here, take this. And you'd be surprised. Don't get it twisted. You have a lot of dudes' names that's in people's cases. They just didn't have to testify. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the guy that was doing the hits. That's the guy that, if I'm right, Scarpa, that's the guy that from the Mississippi burning, right? He was the hitter though. Even though, see, he worked with the feds. See, I think that's when I was working for the feds. The federal agent wound up getting caught up. The federal agent got caught up in the situation. But that's it. But he was a hitter. Yep, he was a hitter. I remember that he was a hitter because he did something crazy. He got caught because I think he had he had a disease. He got caught doing drugs. He was laying. Now let me tell you how crazy this was. He had like a past murder. You know what I'm saying? He had a past murder. That's what I mean. He worked for the feds, and that's weird how y'all just said that. How they never assumed that he worked for the feds. Like that never came out. That came out. Hell yeah. Yeah, you know what, Nathan? When you speak about about that situation with Mel, with that situation, because that was Mel's situation had more to do with CEO Chris taking down the high echelon of non-trade in the streets. That was their situation. The other situation was purely all 6ix9ine in his situation, but 6ix9ine got caught up in the situation. You know what I'm saying? And it just got crazy. You know what I'm saying? All 6ix9ine did was telling a bunch of dudes that had nothing to do with Mel Matrix, but they was all non-trade and they all had status in non-trade. So one way or another, it was all linked up. You know what I'm saying? Like it was because now Harv is on wiretaps with Mel Matrix, but also Harv is the one that snatched up 6ix9ine. So now it's like, okay, it's all one. One way or another, we're going to get 10 years out of them. You know what I'm saying? Now, he just thugged it out, man, because they changed the drug laws. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times these judges, remember, the judges are the ones that sentence you. And sometimes some might be excessive, some might, you know what I'm saying? The good thing about Meech is, not changing the subject, Tony Hayes, what about Big Meech coming home on an 848? I didn't know he had an 848. I just know that he did give him a little time cut. You know what I'm saying? But I know that they give you too much time. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a judge, because judge give you how much time as they want to give you. But then, sometimes they look at it and go, well, I gave him all this judge. And they look at it as, well, we changed the laws, and because of the laws changing and because of politics, it's a good look for politics as Big Meech. Just take off 5 years. It's a good look. It's a good look. Like Trump. Trump let out a lot of kingpins from the 80s, if you think about it. He let out, I believe he let out LD from Brooklyn, right? Am I right? He from East New York, the Who's Who. Unique got out. Rock City came home. Unique came home. We let a lot of the Who's Who Trump freed. He pardoned. You know what I'm saying? So now the next, they got, because what they're doing, drug era, we the people, We was giving people excessive time. So you know, me shouldn't have a body in this case. In his situation, it wasn't a body. So Meat's situation is, well, it's just that we can knock a couple of summers off, you know what I'm saying? And Meat can live 20 years in jail, you know what I'm saying? We see dudes do it all the time. Now, see, the thing, I'm going to tell you what, for Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover is a strong guy, but the government is mad at Larry Hoover. Because this is the story that I've read when I was younger. Larry Hoover, what you said, Harlem Double, now you're not. Hold on one second. Cannot free Larry Hoover. I'm gonna get into that question. Trump could not free Larry Hoover because Larry Hoover took federal dollars that he's supposed to do for the community, and they assumed that he went and bought a bunch of heroin and flooded his community. So the government felt violated. It was a personal thing. So I think whoever the DA was or the judge and all the crime that came with that, they probably put a stamp on him, like just like with Jimmy Carter with Nicky Barnes. Okay, how much telly he gonna do? He gonna do 30 years. He must have felt that whatever he did with them federal, like, you know what I'm saying? He took that personal, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if he had homicides in this situation. I just know that when they came to that, your Hard Rock was popping. They was a little upset. That's one thing I knew about the Larry situation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because they said they give him like millions of dollars to do things for the community and peace. And Jeff Jordan was popping. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know more about that. I knew about that part. You know what I'm saying? Because Caprini Green, all them little areas and all that stuff. You know, look at his power. You think about one of the most organized organizations in the United States of America. It's the GDs. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else asked me a question. What about boom? If you cop out to a fake conspiracy, are you telling? Not at all. Who asked that question? Tony Hayes. No, you're only cooperating when you tell your like. There's a plea. There's something my friend said. There's something that you cop out, but it's a buffer. Something he said. He said, "Yo, when you cop out, but my copping out is like telling on you. Then that's telling." But if you just cop out, like, yo, I'm not copping out. I'm coming out to what I've done, but what I've done had nothing to do with them, then that is not snitching. Snitching is when you, what they call the Marfax, what they call that, what they call that. When you implement it, it's a plea though. It's like a plea where I cop out, like, but I'm saying like you was involved. You got a lot of dudes that do that too, like, yo, if you get to the bag, right? So, once you cop out, yeah, but they call it something. It's a number. It's a number. Not just on. It's a number. It's a certain number that they call it. Like it's 8 something. It's something in the 8s. It's a number that it's like it's a weird paperwork that my man called it something. He's like, yo, because you got dudes in the feds. I think it's that where I cop out. Like me and you get caught. I'm the bag, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna say you did it. I'm a cop out saying, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what dudes be doing. And that's why you see a lot of beef in the feds, because you got co-defendants that dudes that did that to get out and they go violate exactly and come back and blink. Like, you ever see your paperwork? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what dudes be doing. But it's not a 5K. It's not a 5K though. But he might as well sign a 5K. You know that go, man. Shout out Harlem Double. You know that go. He threw that on. We'll never. This is what dudes do, man. You know what I'm saying? Anger. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, guys be mad. And what they're trying to say is about the Magoo situation is what he copped out to. Definitely shout out to Mark Rodriguez. You know what I'm saying? He says, peace, Zeke, and to the chat, University East Side to the Hillside on the check-in. You know what I'm saying? That Tony Hayes, yes, that is telling. You know what I'm saying? But when you cooperate, well, if I cop out, but nobody else gets caught up with my cop out, yeah, I can plead out. But if I cop out and you get jammed up in my pleading, yes, that's cooperating. You got, you know what I'm saying? Salute, Steve Storm all day. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the east side. Somebody said Magoo had. Now I think I don't because you know what Magoo's story is. Allegedly, when Uno B copped out, it jammed a bunch of dudes up down south. I don't know. I guess some guys, some homies got jammed up in whatever they was talking, whatever the situation was. Like I said, but there's a way you could cop out. No, there's a way you could cop out with co-defendants and they don't get caught up. Yeah, they touch. That's the rough part about having co-defendants. Because you're right, the feds play a dirty game, Marfax. Marfax says, I've seen the feds use plea deals in RICO cases against people that never told on anyone. What? Yeah. Because you know what they do, man? You see, when you go to trial, right? They use all they can to convince a jury that you're guilty. When you know how they do it, Tony Hayes, the Zoom, how they do it, man, is it's called having a bad lawyer and a good lawyer. They can't do it, but a bad lawyer let them get away with that. That's why a good lawyer is supposed to get all those funny stories. Like, listen, separate the cases. He copped out. He has no plea agreement against him. He's not testifying. But if your lawyers sit there and allow this to go through, it's all about manipulating the jury to get a conviction. That's what the feds do. They manipulate a jury to get a conviction. They will set somebody on the stand. Just listen. This is facts. I'm telling you, this is fair fact. And they pull up someone's plea deal. Get you one of them. Yo, black intelligence. Yo, son. Listen. I'm about to read something to y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? But again, you know, Harlem Double says, Zeke, I think Magoo really spoke to gang intelligence. He could have, you know what I'm saying? But the gang intelligence, the thing with gang intelligence, who he spoke to never took down no notes, allegedly. So, and that's why I say shout out to people like Crown Courts TV, because now we have a clearer understanding that this gang intelligence officer wasn't taking no notes down. He just went through whatever Magoo told him. So he has one good memory, you know what I'm saying? And we all have good memories. And he just goes by what he remembered what Magoo told him. But like I said, what he could have said could have been something he heard on the gate every day. Yo, when I catch such and such, when I see, you know what I'm saying, no matter what, this guy's food and da. Remember that he's in S Block having conversations on gates. So a lot of he never expected to pull into the case like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? He just probably heard hearsay. You know what I'm saying? Tony Hayes, to cop out on the fence, do you have to plead guilty first to get a deal? Not at all. You only plead it's two different things. You got dudes that caught fake case, those Cody's that just say, yo, I'm copping out. And then you got some that cooperate. Because, see, what the feds is, like my man said, depends on how you get caught, right? Some people are looking at a minimum 10. So you ain't looking at a minimum 10. But some guys got prior felonies, you know what I'm saying? So the prior felonies, and that's what they hold over your head, that's the whammer. That's the one that's going to get you over a dime. So they come to you with the priors. Oh, okay, you got two for you. You're a predicate. Okay, so now we're going to bump this up to 20. Some dudes see that 20 and go, oh, I'm trying to tell. Nah, Mark, we ain't thinking about him. Nah, that he doesn't be. Mark, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to talk about him because he doesn't know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Son will be all right. You know what I'm saying? He's never been to, you know what I'm saying? He be all right. He's learning something day by day because you have to be there to understand that. See, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I'm pretty sure he's catching on. You know what I'm saying? It's a mandatory minimum. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. He's just a fan. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? John Wick's in the building. Nah, it's a mandatory minimum. So what happens is, you got a mandatory minimum. Yeah, we good money, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to crush him. You know what I'm saying? Had to crush his mind, had to educate him on something, you know what I'm saying? Trial in the feds is no joke, you know what I'm saying? Look yeah. They had no evidence, they still gave him life. That's a fact. Marv Fax says trial with the feds is no joke. Look up Maddie Donna's latest case. That's a fact. They saying that he put their head out. Yeah, you're not worried about him, bro. Not even worried about him, man. You know what I'm saying? He put the what's his name? He put the that thing with the purple gang guy and Thaw's neck. That was crazy. Yeah, he put Nicki on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But he threw that right on him. They threw that right on him. Now, mind you, right? I'm going to tell you something from East Harlem. When you hear these names like Gigante, they come from Spanish Harlem. Gigante the Chin, the Meldish guy, he come from East Harlem. A lot of these guys come from East Harlem. The guy that was allegedly the guy that was in American Gangster that was shooting in the sky with Frank Lucas, Spanish Harlem. Fat Tony, Spanish Harlem. Spanish Harlem is 114th Street, Pleasant Avenue, 115th Street, from First to Pleasant. There was a restaurant called Delightfuls across the street. You know what I'm saying? We had the pizza shops, Rayos. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's where I come from, where I grew up at first. Across the street from Jeff. That's how I knew about. I grew up with Rock City and Joe and them. But this is what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. So that purple gang was a part of a generation that was getting to the bag. You know what I'm saying? They was getting to that. They was getting to the money, man. Yep, exactly. He said Akbar from Jersey. 28 said Akbar from Jersey went down for his lifestyle on drug evidence. Yeah, because a lot, a lot of the feds play a dirty game, man. They play a dirty game. Let me tell you, if they can't get you on nothing else, they get you on tax evasion. You know what I'm saying? They get you on something that's so. Because a lot of times when you get into the life of crime, unless you never got caught up, which is like the 1%, most of us got records. So like me, I got I got 3 felonies. So I know if I catch a Fed charge, they're gonna use all 3 against me. Not saying a three-time loser, but they're gonna use that as a, you was looking at 10, but now you're looking at 20. You know what I'm saying? And this is, but I know somebody who went to jail because of hearsay. I know somebody who's done a lot of time because of hearsay. A crime he didn't commit, but people testified. You know what I'm saying? That's the part of the game that's wicked, because because what they do is they'll snatch somebody up. Say they snatch somebody up, right? They'll ask 100 people about you. Now, these people don't have to testify against you, but they'll be like, yo, what's up with Zeke Black? Yeah, I know him. Yeah, he sold weed. Yeah, bet. Boom. Yeah, yo, what happened to such and such? Boom. Yo, what happened to such and such? So a lot of times, there's a lot of dudes' names who's in people's cases. They're just not told to testify, but they've gave a statement up about character statements. I forgot what they call it. It's a character statement. Like, say I'm walking down the block, police snatch me up. Yo, what's up with such and such? And what they do is they use the best of the character statements against you. You know what I'm saying? Yo, this is the type of person he is. They'll ask you something. Well, his son is shooter. Yep. It's weird. So you have dudes who paperwork be having like 200-300 names. Yeah, I think it's still in effect in the feds. New York State, they got a 3-strike law, but it depends on your judge. Because sometimes your judge might look out and go, you know what? Take this 5 flat or take this 8 flat. Then you got some judges that'll be like, man, listen, lose them. You know what I'm saying? In New York State, in the feds, I believe they still. I know Tut got the 3-strike Fed joint. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got the 3 strikes for that. That's that federal. Yeah, Blondie was wicked, man. You know, and it's funny, he was wicked, you know what I'm saying? I was researching something about a case, and the case is crazy because you'd be surprised about how dirty the feds play, man. I don't know. I know New York State, you gotta have this. It's weird. You can have 3 strikes, but it can be mixed up. It depends on the judge, and they do a hearing, but you have 3 of the same, you're definitely gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? Blondie was Harlem Double. Blondie was he was guns first, and I guess he's homicide now. He's the worst. He chase you down. You know what I'm saying? He was guns. He was the gun unit before in the TNT era. You know what I'm saying? Like he was around in that generation. You know what I'm saying? He was snatching a lot. He got a lot of dudes. Got them gun charges from East Harlem. He was definitely the prime example. He's the reason for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just like I said, just being understanding what the laws are. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of times, man, you know, there's a lot of people. Yeah, he was crazy. Blondie was to chase you down. 23rd precinct. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people. Yeah, he's still around. He was around when I was around, throwing us against the wall. You know what I'm saying? That's why he wasn't playing with those guns. Blondie from the late 80s. I would say the late 80s. He started in the late 80s. But I remember him. He was before I was outside. Like, he was outside 86, 87. I remember, he used to chase dudes up through the projects. He was guns. But he went from the gun unit to, I guess, homicide now. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, oh yeah, not changing the subject though. But rest in peace, my man Wig's brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Ralph was a good dude, man. You know what I'm saying? I remember, you know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? He's a good dude, man, from Washington Projects, man. Definitely my man Wig's older brother. I send my condolences to my man Wig's family. You know what I'm saying? You know what's funny though? Harlem Double. You said the gun laws in New York City is crazy. They was light back in the day. I remember you get caught with a slammer, you was getting like a year on the island. You know what I'm saying? RPD block. You know what I'm saying? Tony Hayes says RPD block. You get like a year on the island. Or they had a place called Riverview they would send you to when the island got packed gun charges, 6 building. You know what I'm saying? Like they wasn't really stressing it was crazy at the time when they wasn't even stressing the guns. Like you really had there was a time you could smoke something and get work release. You got dudes that was getting 3 years. Yo, Ronnie was popping. Salute to the chat, you know what I'm saying? Lord Piff, here in Chicago, you get caught with a burning first time misdemeanor. Yo, that's what it was like. Probably probation. Then the murder rate went up. And then when the murder rate went up, games changed. We had a mayor called Giuliani who came into play. And when Giuliani came into play, the rules changed. The judges started thinking different. You know what I'm saying? So now a gun turned into a 1 and 3. You know what I'm saying? I think what made them put the pedal to the metal with the guns when they was able to build more facilities. So now they had a place to sit people because because the Krills era was in full effect and they were still getting dudes for those guns, but then a lot of those guns was getting caught up in the homicides. So it just got crazy. It was a difference. I ain't gonna front, man. It was a hard time in New York. I mean, you got 1,500 to 2,000 bodies. I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. In 1991 and 92, the murder capital for New York City, you know how Brownsville, East New York, they always get like the most bodies? Yo, that little area, Mount Hope, what is it? Cypress Avenue and 138th and 140th and what's that? St. Anne's Avenue? That was the murder capital of New York City at one point in time. Ascent of Phoenix. The key difference was the brazen manner in which Wayne committed his homicides. He was doing them in broad daylight with no shame, even in front of police, Mount Haven. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And that's Ascent of Phoenix said that. No, crazy. And like what he said, the police wasn't in front of police. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Mount Haven was like the worst. Like 91, 92, that was considered like the murder capital of New York City. Like I said, like now you know how Brownsville, East New York would always get that tagged, and Bed-Stuy, that it just trickled down to Harlem. Yeah, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Mount, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. Yeah. It was like that. It was the murder capital. It was a lot of bodies. Yes, sir. I remember when that happened when he was going to the court. I guess he was going to parole or something like that. That was crazy. And that's what you heard a lot about him. They had a whole article about him in the newspaper, how he came from DR, wherever he came from, and they assassinated him. You know what I'm saying? They say he was extorting everything over there moving. But if you could remember going through Brook Ave looked like, yes, CNC, man. Yo, Brook Ave looked like 42nd Street in 2010. Brook Ave had 1 million people out there. From the Bruckner all the way up. Brook Ave was crazy. From the Wild Cowboys, and they had Krills, the Red Tops, and then you had other crews. It was crazy, them projects. Yo, from the Bruckner all the way to the 3rd Ave Bridge? Was that the 3rd Ave Bridge, right? No, 2nd Ave Bridge. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. When you crossed the bridge on 121st Street by Wagner Projects, you was on a different side of the Bronx. That wasn't the Bronx that we wasn't going deep into the Bronx. That side alone was exciting. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't going to the west side of the Bronx. We wasn't going to Soundview. To go to Soundview was like going to Brownsville. You know what I'm saying? Soundview was still crazy. Nobody was going to Soundview. That was dangerous over there. Soundview projects and all that. And Monroe, what? Monroe, who? But to go across the bridge, they had a strip club over there too somewhere, right? The Golden Lady or something like that. Definitely. Just that bridge. Definitely, you know what I'm saying? James, I salute to you, bro. I bring you to a dirty time, man. A dirty time in the era, man. It's crazy. Still, I'm telling you, who was it going? Harlem Double. Who was it going to? Still not good. You know what I'm saying? Who was going to Soundview? Soundview was still dangerous. It's just that you had to go to Soundview to get violated. And you know what I'm saying? The only time you really bumped into Soundview cats, and as crazy as this sound, was Harlem Week. That's when Harlem Week, and it has nothing to do with the Pistol Pete Cato situation. It's just always been like that. The only time you really bump heads with Soundview cats is Harlem Week. And they would come and they'd get crazy. Harlem Week is the only time to, you know what I'm saying? Yep, the Golden Lady, you know what I'm saying? They had their own little strip club. Now, I won't say they didn't have their own strip club. They had the strip club right down there. All that's that zone, bro. So you didn't have to go deep into the Bronx. Yo, if you was on Brook Ave, them avenues, right, them projects, what's that? Stevenson projects and Millbrook projects and all that stuff, and even Patterson. It was so exciting just in that portion of the Bronx. You don't have to go even further. Edenwald projects was dangerous. Edenwald projects is what we would consider Brownsville projects. Edenwald. You was not going to Edenwald projects. If you went to Edenwald projects, you had to go to Edenwald projects with some dudes that were fishing. Because you could go to Edenwald projects with somebody who's from Edenwald and still get robbed. You and him would get robbed. Edenwald projects was dangerous. Yo, that 3rd Ave Bridge, bro. Yo, bro, that 3rd Ave Bridge was the real thing, bro. That 3rd Ave Bridge was serious, man. Exactly, that bridge. Yeah, the 3rd Ave Bridge. That's not the 3rd Ave Bridge. That's the 1st Ave Bridge. That's the Willis, right? When you wouldn't go across. You have the Willis Ave Bridge. Then you have the 1st Ave Bridge goes into the Bronx. The 2nd Ave Bridge come out the Bronx. And then you got the 141st Street. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It was so much money. It was exciting. So you see these pictures of these Spanish guys, and the difference was, I'm not saying that these Puerto Ricans and Dominicans wasn't going to the rooftop, but they had. There was a set of Phoenixes. There was a crew out of Idlewild projects known as Intercrime with Joe Pratt as their leader. They were extremely dangerous. Yo, salute Dice was popping. Robert Davis says, that's Cuzzo. He says, salute Cuzzo, Big Dice. Mark Rodriguez says, then the bridge by Lincoln. Yep, that's a fact. Robert Davis goes, salute, first time ahead, New Haven, Connecticut, checking in. Salute to New Haven, Connecticut. Yo, I'm going to tell you what's crazy, right? Is that nobody was going. I was locked up with these guys, my man, my mans, man. And I think they was talking about the Joe Pratt guy that era, because they was talking about there was a lady that they called Little Bit. A Little Bit was involved with some big time hustler, but my man, that was his girl first. He from Idlewild. They used to sit about the after hour spots. There was a lot of money in Idlewild. This was 1995. I know my man, his last name was Newton. I forgot. I think it's Hubert. That's my nigga Hugh. You know what I'm saying? My nigga Hugh. You know what I'm saying? Older guy. Out of Idlewild. His girlfriend, Little Bit, she allegedly, something happened where they tried to say she robbed something, or her homegirl robbed something, and she got killed. But her boyfriend was like, her baby father was some big time Spanish hustler that was out of Idlewild. So, I met some Idlewild, and they said that name Joe Pratt. So I remember that. They would say the after hour spots and all this other songs like this. Yeah, just talking about that era, about the Joe Pratt, because they come from that era. Because I guess they were saying it was a lot of that P-Funk that was being, you know what I'm saying? That was the era, you know what I'm saying? I guess, what Sam used to say was, I think Bat used to be up there too sometime. Like Bat had some type of song. Yeah, I guess they said that Bat had ties up there. I don't know if we was getting money up there, but Bat had ties up there. You know what I'm saying? So, dude definitely wasn't going to Idlewild. Idlewild wasn't an option. Idlewild Projects was not an option. Yes, that era. Because my man used to be like, yo, Bat used to be up there because he had an after-hour spot. Everybody used to go to up there. That was like a popular after-hour spot. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Idlewild was dangerous, bro. That was a dangerous spot. Nobody, Idlewild, what? Certain projects you just didn't go into. Salute, Cassine Torres. Certain housing complexes you just didn't go into because you was out of your zip code. Nobody just traveled around like they do now. Get on the train and I'm going to Soundview. That wasn't happening. You wasn't going to Cozy Corner and hanging out. That things like that didn't happen. You didn't go, yo, even Wagner Projects. I'm not walking around Wagner. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. No, I never seen that Inch documentary, but I'm pretty sure he's from up there. You know what I'm saying? It was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Wagner was dangerous, Steve. Woo. Wagner Projects. Oh God, Wagner Projects was the equivalent. Me growing up, Wagner Projects was a no-fly zone for anybody that wasn't from Wagner. Both sides, Palladino side to the other side. You know what I'm saying? Wagner was Wagner. Wagner was not just walking through there. Yeah, Wagner was on a different type of time. It was on a different type of energy. When I first moved to East Harlem, yes, to the back. When I first moved to East Harlem, I lived on 117th Street between 1st and 2nd. Hold on one second before I get there. Jeff Jordan, no. Queensbridge is not the only projects. You have Astoria projects. You have what's that? Ravenswood. You got Woodside projects. You got Flushing projects in Flushing. You got Jamaican projects, 40 projects. You have a lot of housing complexes out there, Jeff. You got Baisley. You have Astoria, Queensbridge projects. You got mad jets, but Queensbridge is the biggest. They got like 100 buildings. You know what I'm saying? Woodside projects. Is Rockdale projects? I thought 40Ps. Just bring them up. Let's educate. I gotta remember there's a lot of guys that's not from New York City that's following us on the chat that's across the country. That might be another country. So as we talk about certain locations, they don't know. So we just educate them. You know what I'm saying? You got Far Rockaway is weird, but you got you got Edgemere. I think they sold Edgemere though. But you have Edgemere, you have Redfern, you got them projects that's all the way by like Beach 60, whatever they call it. Oh, it's called Rochdale Village, no doubt. Redfern. What's the one that's all the way like in the 60s? Yeah, the ones that's way in the back. Yeah, that's from Far Rockaway. When you catching the train towards where the beach is at, like Hamels, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Yep. When you going towards where the beach is at, where you catch that bus and you're right by the bridge that goes into Howard Beach. When you leaving Far Rock, when you catch the bus. I'm just trying to remember. Because there's a portion of that beach that's clean. That beach, Far Rockaway Beach, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Bland Projects, that's in Flushing. Facts. Right there by Main Street, JB. Yep. Right off of Main Street. Yep, B72 Street. Thank you. Mark, good looking, man. Yep, B72 Street. You know what I'm saying? Because they got a place where people be renting surfboards over there on that strip. Is Left Racket Projects? Nah, I think it's private buildings. But they take Section 8. I don't think it's through public housing, but they take Section 8. Yeah, Left Racket in the projects, you know what I'm saying? They co-ops, you know what I'm saying? But they got people in Section 8 that's in there. But I ain't got front. Oh. That's that. I think at one point in Co-op City, they took a lot of Section 8. You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes it look sort of project-y, because some of the people that's on Section 8. But I'm not gonna front. 57th Avenue was lit. That part of Queens is weird because it's other than Left Rack and across the street where nobody used to be at. Yo, it's nice in that area. You know what I'm saying? Am I wrong? That area of Queens is nice when you're going towards Queens Mall. They got co-ops. Yo, yeah, exactly. Like Metro North, facts. They got co-ops in the malls in Queens Mall. There's a co-op in the building. When you look on the roof, there's a co-ops over there. Yeah, so the area is really nice. It says right there where there used to be this guy before I came back, right? Okay, East 32nd. Okay, my cousin lived there. I'm from London. I visit them, and I know that they are on Section 8 or something. It's because they mobs a damn smoker. Yo, I've been to Panama Projects in Flushing. That's another one. That's in the cut, though. A lot of people don't know. That in that little area Panama is at, there's another complex, but it's not projects. It's for electricians. It's the union for the electricians over there. They got their own co-op where like the union electricians, for some union, their electricians live in these co-ops. It's other than them little projects over there, it's nice over there. They got the bowling alley and all that. I remember because I moved somebody over there I moved like 3 people over there. But there's a over in that area there's a strip mall and there's a co-op that's for electricians. Electricians for like the union. A union electrician, they give you housing. Some company gives you housing. Some union gives you housing. Yep, Harvest Harding Expressway. Yep, it's co-ops. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Blizz Black, she said, yes, it is. You know what I'm saying? Harlem Devils goes to visit, try to see a girl at night, you're gonna get the business. Yeah, but these young boys, them tight jeans and big sneakers, they dangerous, man. You thought we was dangerous in the lobby. They smoking everything moving, you know what I'm saying? You see what they did on 42nd Street, you know what I'm saying? You ain't never lie. You know, they shooting, you know what I'm saying? We might have took your garments, you know what I'm saying? Snatch your chain, slap you up a little bit. These young boys, it's gonna give you something to chew on your back, you know what I'm saying? They did the disco, it's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Yep. JB, what's some other buildings though, JB? They look like brick buildings, but it's for the car, it's for the electricity union, bro. And I never seen that before. They have housing for electricians in this part of Queens. Oh, now I ain't hear about that, man. But you know it's 121st Street, a bunch of K2 heads. It doesn't surprise me, bro. A lot of Queens is up. You got these areas though, but then you got a lot of good parts of Queens, like Jamaica, Queens, not the South Side, but Jamaica. You have Kew Gardens, you have Forest Hills, Rego Park, like they said, because you got the co-ops. Queens Boulevard. They got a whole bunch of co-ops on Queens Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? Oh, right by the courthouse, by Kew Garden, all that stuff, by the courthouses and all that. Top of the top, Father Summer's popping. Yeah. Yeah, man. You know, that's what I said, man. Lordton is nice. Hell yeah, Lordton is nice. All that by Merrick. That's at the borderline, you know what I'm saying? Cambria Heights is nice. It's just that in those areas you have these guys that go up in good homes that want to be gang members. It's weird because all you see is a bunch of nice houses, and then you got these guys that want to be Bloods and Crips. That's the part that bugs me out. When you go to certain parts of Queens, it's like it's nice over here, man. But we do gotta understand that the drug game that destroyed a lot. You know what I'm saying? Let me, Justin Reyes, let me ask you a question. What you think about the violence in New York City right now? No mercy from the judge or what? I mean, I can't tell you what a judge is going to do. I just think my personal opinion is the violence has gotten out of hand. And when violence gets out of hand, they're letting that happen for a reason. If you're allowing certain areas to become war zones, that means that there's another area you're trying to build up. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that I could like throw the book at them, but they're not going to do that because there's a reason why they're letting these guys out. They're giving them a chance to commit these crimes, but commit crimes in their areas. Do not leave your zone. And because they must be gentrifying another portion of New York City and they're moving people out. And then this is what's happening when you cramp a bunch of people up in one area. It's going to be a bunch of violence. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's sad. It's sad. This is how you create justification. Because the reason why it's so gung-ho for, because there's no police. And the police ain't doing nothing in certain areas. You know what I'm saying? And they're doing that for a reason. When you feel comfortable, you can walk down the block with a gun and not get jumped out on without no consequences. Think about the average kid now that get caught with a gun. They might get all because of the no bail laws. So they know what they're doing. That same kid is going to get out, get another gun, and eventually he's going to murder somebody. So you keep them in a zip code. You keep them where you need to keep them, and then you get to justify, yes. See, we never thought East Harlem looked like a war zone. For those that don't know, if they thought the South Bronx was bad, East Harlem was just as bad. It was just as bad. So we didn't see the gentrification. West Harlem was really bad. A lot of those buildings was abandoned. Or slum lords. Then they started gentrifying. But to gentrify, you got to remove the people and put them someplace else. See, we thought in the Wire, when they put them people in one drug area, we thought that it was a game. We thought that, yo, they can't, that's only a show where they can move a bunch of people into one area, and they called that the zone or zombie land or ground zero, right? We thought that that was only in a show. They do this in real life. They remove the people. So what happens is when you remove a large portion of the people, you move a whole new bunch in, and then you raise the rent. So the people you remove, they can't come back unless they got employment. Because now you may be charging, if you was paying $400 a month rent, now the rent is $1,000. You ain't trying to pay $1,000, so you're gonna stay where it costs $400 a month rent. But to pay $400 a month rent, you're in a war zone, and nobody cares. And there's drugs on the corner, and there's murder, and there's mayhem. Well, I don't know if he's still Mac. I'm not too sure. So this is what happens during the time of that. That's what happens. So we never seen gentrification coming because they did it piece by piece. So what happens now, I remember if y'all was outside, for those that was on the west side, 118th, 119th, and Manhattan Avenue had abandoned buildings. That whole block was abandoned. From Manhattan to Morningside. Abandoned buildings. Brownstones over there go for $2-3 million. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely no much. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. They know what they're doing. They move people around. And you know what's so funny about that? Blake, Andre B was popping. You know what's Blake? You know what's so deep about what you just said about that? That on 14th Street, right? From 14th Street to 23rd Street, First Avenue. Guess what? Guess when he first built that? Allegedly, they built that for the city workers. So if you was a city worker, you had first dibs to move in Stuyvesant Town. Word, he's not lying. The rent was like the projects. It was like the projects. It went by your income. So you had before they sold Stuyvesant Town to Nightlife built it. Then they sold it to one of the biggest real estate guys, paid like $1 billion for it. But they had to they went through a lot of politics because a lot of people that lived in Stuyvesant Town was under the rules of NYCHA, as in you go by how much money you make. So a person, they tell you for a 2-bedroom and this amount of space, you're supposed to pay $5,000. You got some people that's paying $1,000 to $1,200. So you know what I'm saying? They had to do their politics to get some people out to make a profit because majority of Stuyvesant Town was city workers. A lot of people didn't even know that, right? When they first built Stuyvesant Town, it was like public housing for city workers. Because they went by the rules of city workers, the same rules of like, they went by your income. He's 100% correct, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yep. You know what I'm talking about, Lord Piff. Rent control, yep. But you had a whole complex. A whole complex. They've been doing that for years. After Bill Clinton signed that bill, the HUD, saying that you can't have drug dealers and killers living in the projects, what has changed? You know what I'm saying? Nothing changed. That definitely ain't changed. Nothing has changed. Even with them changing those laws, nothing has changed. Because you have to catch a case to get kicked out. Nothing changed. It's still, you know what I'm saying? It's changed. Yo, you know what's so funny? When you say that, right, Lord Piff, that's deep because Section 8 removed us, not us, but people that was on Section 8 out of housing. But then you have people that, the Jewish community, the ones that wear all black, they get Section 8 and they're thriving. Where the husband lives in the apartment and he's also probably a landlord because of city laws that were put in place. And I believe because they say that their culture is like, it's a culture, it's like it's a religion. It's not something that can be governed by the state, technically, because you can't be a felon and be in a household. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a felon and live with your wife that gets Section 8. The average guy who girl got Section 8 is a felon. I'm saying that's crazy to say that. So it's already like they can give it to her, but you can't live there because you have a felony. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Never seen one yet. Exactly. They say it. Then you go to these courts and the housing court, and the housing court thinks differently. That's a fact, man. So that's why I said a couple other lies. You have to remove yourself from the situations. You know what I'm saying? You have to remove yourself because it's not going to change. And when they do change it, they're going to change it with the rent. See, when the rent goes up, you can't afford it. Then what happens is up to the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? And when I say up to the Bronx, it's because that's what 90% of the shelters is in the Bronx. You got some in Queens, they got some in Staten Island, but majority of the shelters are uptown Bronx on the concourse. That's why what's one of the two worst violent areas in the Bronx? University Heights, Fordham Heights, concourse. So even in their own communities, these guys, exactly, off to the Bronx you go. Exactly. Now the South Bronx, as crazy as it sound, and some people may get mad. Yo, Zeke, you be talking, you're going too far. But the South Bronx, to me, Morris Heights, like the little areas, that's actually the Bronx. Because it has less of a mixed community of shelter and people. Like, you'll meet somebody on a concourse that's his only reason why he's on the concourse is because his family's in the shelter, compared to being in Mount Hope projects where these guys really grew up with each other. Yes, Justin, you know what I'm saying? Justin Reyes. Justin Reyes says, I'm from Crown Heights and was the only Puerto Rican around all the Monanos. Now it's all Jews and whites. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That portion of Crown Heights, you know what I'm saying? JP, all the shelter people from Brooklyn is now living in the Bronx, in that area, bro. The South Bronx is really the Bronx to me. Like, you're gonna really meet a block that's really South Bronx. You know, you got the shelter dudes coming in the complexes here and there, but to me, that's more of the Bronx. I say it goes as far as Webb. Webb to on that side on Webster, like, you know, Cambridge Heights, that's still the Bronx. But that concourse and all that, that's definitely, that's done. You may have a side block here and there, but most of that is shelters. Most of that is mixed communities. People, you got dudes that have been in the shelter for 8, 9 years. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Oh, the original James Pelham, you know what I'm saying? I remember when it was beeping in Pelham Bay. They didn't want to put at that hotel. They didn't want to put a bunch of homeless people. They like, nah, we don't want that shelter over here. No, and I think they still want to put in it, but they was like, no, no, no. Hell yeah, it's gonna be the new Times Square. Yeah, you got some dudes that got 8, 9 years in this shelter. They got veterans, man. They even have a reception spot. I guess when they kick you out of one shelter, there's a spot that they send you to. You sit down for a couple of hours, you reapply, and they send you to another. Co-op City, I live there. It's a lot of old. It's like a senior citizen home. You can honestly say. Co-op City has a lot of old city workers. A lot of people that live there. They're older people. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Blake. I like that. Hold on, let me get to that, Blake. But because of Section 8, there's a lot of Section 8 that came through co-op, and that's what made it more gangster. Because a lot of the Section 8, but Section 5 has always been, I heard, rough. You know what I'm saying? I heard Section 5 is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And the Valley was crazy and all that stuff over there. You know what I'm saying? But where I lived at, it was more so like my father's building had a bunch of more older people. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure. Hell, you right about that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I said. It's weird, but then you go by like, what area is that, man? By Pelham Parkway. You know what I'm saying? By Morris Park and all. It's nice over there. The Bronx got weird areas. Like the Morris Park section is decent. Some houses over there. By like Morris Park, off of Pelham Parkway. By the not by the 2 train. The 2 train is lit, but by the 5 train. You know what I'm saying? Salute John Shab. Yeah, they get crazy over there. Definitely get crazy. Them in the rude boys get crazy. Yeah. See, that's the Bronx to me too. Yeah, that's the Bronx areas too. The concourse is really like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The concourse uptown, that's like, it's different. Not the whole thing, but a lot of that is different. A lot of that is that shelter stuff. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shelters is uptown in the Bronx, man. We got some in Washington Heights by like Columbia Presbyterian. Yeah. Draw's Neck is weird because you go closer to the water, I think. When you go closer to the water, you have certain areas that's you know what I'm saying? I've seen a couple of good houses over there. The Italians, man, they built like little mansions in the cut, you know what I'm saying? Then you got a portion by the projects that's a little crazy, you know what I'm saying? Yep, half hood, half projects, yep. Exactly, hit it on the nose, you know what I'm saying? It's half hood and half projects, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's crazy, man. So what they do when they do this, it's all for economics. Yeah, it's all for economics, man. And and it's a push. You know what I'm saying? Each Tremont separates it. That's funny you said that, right? Um, I met this person, this guy. There's a bar over there. There used to be a bar. It's East Tremont. Yeah, I believe it's on East Tremont. And you're going into Throughout Neck. And I know we was by like a Walgreens. The bar was by a Walgreens. Peter Guns owned a piece of it with Jimmy's Cafe. I forgot the name of the bar. It's not there no more though, but it was on East Tremont. But I remember it was like a CVS or a Walgreens that was like across the street. It was in East Tremont. And yeah, do I know Master with the dreads or nah? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Before that, they called what they called it. It was this had to have been like 2015, 16. There was a barber shop over there. And Peter Guns owned a piece of it with Jimmy's Cafe and somebody else. Yep. Yeah, but even that was on the west side of the Bronx, right? Job Corps was on the west side, right? By like Burnside and all that, or Andrews, what do you call that? That was on that side, right? Job Corps, right? That was like on that side of the Bronx, but like Andrews and what do you call that stuff? That University Heights and all that. Yeah, I thought it was on Andrews or over there somewhere, right? Yeah. 'Cause I've been to that bar a couple of times. I forgot I got pictures. I'm gonna start posting the pictures. I was in that bar a couple of times. And I remember that spot. But you know what I'm saying? Now that area. See, that's the area that's mixy. The because you got them shelters over there too on University. You know what I'm saying? It's a little mixy, but you got dudes that's day one University cats or West Side cats. You know what I'm saying? Then you got, you know what I mean? The shelters. Because when we say shelters, there's some buildings that got regular tenants, and then you have some people that's regular tenants, and then you got people that live in the buildings that's shelter. You know what I'm saying? So New York City's hot. It's hot. Be careful out there. Hold your heads. Don't get yourselves in trouble. My boy was part owner of that PR Sasson, the last train on the 6 train, the last stop on the 6 train. Zeke, will you touch your average Johnny in another video? I'm hearing he left all this evidence right on the detective's desk. He probably did, Jeff Joe. I will though, man. But them young boys. They go too viral with everything. Everything that they do virally. They do on the phone. They recording. So it's just there, man. You know what I'm saying? Even if he don't even realize it, when you repost the shooting or you allowing your friends to repost what happened in the club last night, it puts you on the crime scene. A lot of times, the social media solve the cases. And I guess I seen something when they said about Pooh Shiesty where they used a lot of this information. You know what I'm saying? So, we touching on definitely another show, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just now it's just easier for the feds now. Definitely, you know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. Even Lennox Ave was lit now. Remember, we was growing up, all they had was Sylvia's. Now you got Red Rooster, you got the other spot. They got the Red Rooster, you got 3-4 spots across the street. Lennox Ave is popping. Back when I was growing up, you just had Sylvia's, you know what I'm saying? And a couple other little spots. Copeland's, shout out to Copeland's. You can't forget about Copeland's. A couple of good spots, though, you know what I'm saying? Dudes is going to get something to eat at, but when you watch on a movie called Paid in Full, you think the only spot everybody was going to was Willie Burgers, you know what I'm saying? They zoomed, Road to Hellcat says, they zoomed in on the money he was counting and got the number one of the bills was left in the bag at the crime scene. That's what I'm trying to say. They do it to themselves, man. You know what I'm saying? Do it to themselves, man. You know what I'm saying? This technology is what get dudes kicked, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Word. Pan, remember Pan? I remember they tried to put, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to take it back. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to take it back. Can't forget about Pam on 31st Street. See, this is the content that I know that you'll like. I mix up the content sometime. I do it because you know what I'm saying? I do it for the people. So if I get so I don't really do I do listen, I don't ask you for $2-3 on a donation. So when I do this, I really do this for the people. I really do this for y'all, for you guys. I don't boom, but I need this and the third. And that's because I have a book to tell. Look, y'all listen to see, you were on point with this. Because I was really outside moving around. You know what I'm saying? New York City, moving around. Yo, I'm gonna take you back to a Pan spot. Early 90s, they called themselves building, I think, a Pan in Schaumburg. I think that's what it was. It was a Pan. It had a restaurant in Schaumburg. I think it was Pan. I believe it was Pan. He tried to bring Pan to Schaumburg. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? They had a location there. This was the early 90s. But it didn't pop off the way it popped off on the west side. Hell yeah. There was a Pan there for a little while. Y'all can't front, you know what I'm saying? One Fish, Two Fish was a hot spot. Even though that was in my hood, that was a hot spot to fish. The Fish was a hot spot on 97th and Madison. I can't front, the Fish was a hot spot. You can't forget about One Fish, Two Fish. You know what I'm saying? You can't forget about the Fish. Shout out to all my mans in Taft, everything on Madison Avenue. My man D, you know what I'm saying? My man D from Taft. D Murder from Taft. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Double shout out to D Murder from Taft. You know what I'm saying? That was my man B Black. That was his spot. My man Rodney Shell. That was his spot. My man Terrence. That was his spot. That was everybody's spots. Double shout out to the Fish. You know what I'm saying? We also had, don't forget about Jackson Hole. Jackson Hole, even though it was it's in the 80s, it was the spot. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. But he said, the guard, Father U says, if you are 5% of no park on my fork on 125th Street, peace to the guards and nurse. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Somebody will stop being a keyboard killer and mousepad mobster. Alicia Keys did the video on there before down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Davon Dennis is Japs, 116th Street across the street from the Carter. Bomb. Yo, I'm gonna tell you something crazy. Yo, when they made New Jack City, right? Yo, I don't know what they was doing in the Carter, that in the complex, but this is the era. Across the street was $1 million industry. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, bro. It was crazy. It was a crazy time, man. It was a crazy time for New York, man. And I'm just happy I'm able to remember having a good memory. I guess my friend always says, Zeke, you don't smoke weed, man. This is a great thing. You have a good memory. You say, don't smoke weed. And I see that my memory has come to actually, for the people that want to know. There's all the spots we named was out while Willie Burgers was out. So there was other spots dudes was going to that was just as famous. You had Jackson Hole, you had Green Kitchen. You know what I'm saying? The diners on the Upper East Side. You had the spots. But see, again, for a lot of people that's not from New York City, y'all watch a movie and assume that all dudes did was go to the rooftop, Willie Burgers, and drove around with their cars. People went everywhere. A lot of Latinos was going downtown. Some went to the rooftop, but some also went to party with Louis Vega, DJ Louis Vega. They went to his parties, him and a host of other great DJs that was DJing at Roseland and Heartthrob, and even when Bentley's was popping and the Shadow was popping before it became the super old school spot. And you had other spots that was popping. So everybody didn't go uptown, like, you know what I'm saying? After the Latin Quarters and all the other stuff popped, then you had new spots. That's why I was weird, like when you speak about the bosses in New York, you want to know talk about the bosses in New York, talk about Roseland. Yeah. So now that's what I'm saying. When we were able to break this down, there was mad stuff to do in New York. Yeah, it was goody. Money D was goody. It was mad spots dudes was going to with their big cars. I remember I was talking to the Godfather you, right? And we was kicking. I'm like, yeah, I remember there was a spot. We used to get the Limelight. That was, no matter what they said, that was a hot spot. That was a hot spot. Peter Gation owned the Limelight. Peter Gation also owned, you know what I'm saying? Peter Gation also owned Club USA, the Tunnel. You know what I'm saying? He owned a lot of spots in New York City. The Palladium was popping, but they played a different music there. They played, the Madonna. They played the Shout Shout, Let It All Out. They played all that at the rooftop too. Don't get it twisted. They was playing that Phil Collins and all that too. You know what I'm saying? But these spots you heard freestyle music. Don't forget about the Fever, was popping. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Magic, you know what I'm saying? Sal, he just got retired in the Bronx. He got the Hall of Fame. Whoa, this is some dope stuff, man. This is dope, man. So I was talking to the guard, right? The Godfather you. So I'm like, yo, remember I was going to the West Side, and there's a spot called Nick's. They made these big cheeseburgers, bro. And I think it was in the 90s. I think it was was it off 96th Street or going towards, but it was on Broadway. We used to go to Nick's. They used to give us these big hamburgers. So we're coming from the east side of Harlem to go across Century Park just to buy some cheeseburgers. That was this big. It was a diner. I don't know if it was on 96th Street or going towards 86th Street. Yes, Nick's. They had the big burgers. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We used to go from the east side, boom, to the west side. This is what dudes did, man. Like this is what this. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that Peter Gation put money behind the movie Bronx Tale. He actually put money in it. You know what I'm saying? One of the movies that he actually helped put money in. You know what I'm saying? Did I go to soul kitchen parties in the 90s or not? By that time, I was running back and forth from out of town. I went to a lot of Ted Smooth parties. I went to a lot of St. Francis parties and all that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DJ Ted Smooth, DJ Demo, and all of them. With the hood, man. You know what I'm saying? Wow, this is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Yo, I don't give a fuck. Skate Key was popping. Then they opened the new Skate Key. That was popping. Then I remember the Savoy was popping. Then I remember the new fever that Fat Joe had. That was popping with Frankie Cutlass and the Jamaicans, the Jamaican DJs that was on hot. Like those spots was popping. The Rumble, all those spots was crazy. Hell yeah. Tell you it was crazy. But then the second Skate Key generation was the Blood one. So that's where you had a lot of more cutting, snaps and chains and all the other craziness that was going on. Yes. The Latin Quarter on 96th Street was popping. Y'all remember that one? That one was popular on 96 in Broadway. That joint was popping. If I get the blocks wrong, just correct me. But I remember that spot was popping. Man, the Latin Quarter was popping. Fat Joe Club, the Buddha spot, a.k.a. Club X. A.k.a. Broadway 96. You know what I'm saying? Fat Joe, he was killing them with that shit. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? As I said, we called it the New Fever. I don't know why, but we just said, yo, the New Fever. Fat Joe owned the New Fever. So I guess that's the actual name of the spot. But that joint was popping. And it's funny that you said that because my friends used to promote the flyers back then for his parties. Shabba, what's they called? What's some guys? My mans and them, they was part of that straight face, and they was giving out flyers. One of the guys that was part of that team was a guy from my projects. His name is Adam Torres. He was a part of the movement of promoting the parties, of giving flyers out when Fat Joe owned the club. And then the guy Adam went on to manage. Oh yeah. That was a joint, man. You got some of you Charlie went downtown. The Lancey was popping. Know what I'm saying? But we had other spots. We had 86th Street. Know what I'm saying? But we had 86th Street. And all the dudes fool you. We had 116th Street. 116th between Lex and 3rd was like Delancey Street. You know what I'm saying? But Delancey, you got a better deal. You know what I'm saying? But 116th between Lex and 3rd Ave was popping too. You know what I'm saying? But Delancey was popping downtown. My mans went to Seward Park High School. Shout out to my mans. All my mans went to all them 131 niggas that went to Seward Park. You know what I'm saying? And that was popping. High school was popping. It was dope when your friends went to a school not in the zone school. Richmond was our zone school. We didn't go to this Richmond. I went to Norman Thomas. My man always went to Norman Thomas. Ari never went to, I think, Seward Park. You know what I'm saying? My man Sonny, he went to Art and Design. Rod Clip, he went to Park West. Yeah, Pegasus, my man Vazo, rest in peace, used to hang out in there, Pegasus. We had Mr. G's. We had different spots on the east side, you know what I'm saying? We had Mr. G's, we had Tom, Dick, and Harry, you know what I'm saying, on 6th and 7th Street. We had the sneaker store right there on 3rd and 3rd Ave. Shout out to Sean Warner, and them, rest in peace, Raheem and all that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You had the Army and Navy right there on 100 and, 6th? Hell yeah. Chance, you know what I'm saying? Yep, 124 on Lexington. Shout out to my man Steve Owen on Lex, you heard? 122nd Street in Lex. And that's what I'm saying, man. It's like we just bring so much flavor to the flavor. Flavor in there. Shout out to East, you know what I'm saying, West St. Louis, Wifey and all that. You know I have to get ready to go to work, so I definitely appreciate y'all. You had a good morning, man. So just understand, you know what I'm saying? This is a great one. Yeah, Brandeis was bad. It was bad. Brandeis and Humanities downtown by Chelsea Projects. Those that West Side line was crazy because you had Brandeis that was crazy with the Dominicans was losing their mind in there. Then you had Humanities Washington Irving was a little wild. There's another school over there too, Mabel D. Beacon. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Now I'm trying to tell you, dudes travel school to school. What got you out of the borough was going to different schools. Martin Luther King told that West Side was crazy. You had the D. When I was in high school, they had the D-steps over there. Baby Rumble and them went to King. That's all that red line, all that blue line, the A train, the 1, 2, 3 train. Then you had Park West and graphics that was even more crazier. Then when you keep going downtown, you went to Humanities. Humanities was like, it was wild down there too. Because I gotta remember, there was a lot of Puerto Ricans on that part of Manhattan. By like, that's not Chelsea. Good morning. Brooklyn Tech was the home of the D-steps. My cousin went to Brooklyn Tech. He a doctor now. You know what I'm saying? But Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because Fort Greene was right there across the street. A lot of D-steps was a school thing. Washington Westinghouse. You know what I'm saying? Westinghouse was rough too. What area is that? Like the Meatpacker district, that Fulton Projects and all that had a lot of Puerto Ricans down there. There's a lot of Puerto Ricans that was down in that Chelsea area. Yeah. Isn't Philip Randolph, the campus, isn't that the school that they was using for juice? That's the school they used for juice, right? Yeah, that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They used that for juice. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? It was lit. Because remember, dudes that went to art and design was dudes that a lot of them couldn't get into LaGuardia. So Mobb Deep went there. I remember when Mobb Deep went there, when Prodigy and Have went there, when Ella G went there, when my man Sonny went there, when my man Rival went there. There was a lot of official cats that went to art and design. Because, you know what I'm saying? Father, you said shout out to Caesar and Circle. Word, that's the era I remember because my man Sonny, he had a song out called Brothers with Monday. He did a song with his brother, you know what I'm saying, Jay Quest. They all went to school with Prodigy and Have. You know what I'm saying? That's when Big L went to Richmond. That's when Richmond called themselves the R. The D-sets wasn't coming that far, you know what I'm saying? Word. Washington Irving was always lit though with the parties. It's funny because I seen a picture of Little Louis Vega, and I remember going, Mary Burchell was crazy. You know what I'm saying? I went to Thomas. Remember, my school was a school that they used in strictly business. Remember the bank? That was my school, Thomas, Norman Thomas. It's just that the bank was on one side of the building, my high school was on the other side of the building. That's 33rd Street in Park and Lex, 34th Street Park and Lex. That movie Strictly Business, that had Halle Berry in it. They played Mary J's first hit, You Remind Me, her first personal hit on the radio, You Remind Me. That, the bank, and the guy worked in the bank, that was my high school. Crazy, small world, man. Shout out to Thomas. Thomas was popping. Shout out to my man Big Vito from AK and all that. You know what I'm saying? But I have to get ready to go to work, party people. I have to get ready to go. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Small world, man. But see, one thing I like about me is I was a traveler. I didn't stay on my block all day, so I always got lost. I always disappeared. I started getting money. I got money around the right guys at the right time. Y'all sitting here. I just bought y'all. I just brought y'all to a time capsule. Norman Thomas High School. We took more facts. I brought y'all to Norman Thomas High School. This is when your famous hustler sister went to school with us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Tone, he owned a piece of the PR song. Hell yeah. He owned a piece of it, him and Jimmy Cafe. Y'all know who Jimmy Cafe is? Oh yeah, he was killing him, man. Jimmy's Cafe, he used to own Jimmy's on Fordham. You know what I'm saying? Major League Baseball, the Yankees, Because Yankees, they didn't want the baseball players going there because all the connects hung there. You know what I'm saying? I believe that's where they bust Jay-Z over the head with the liquor bottle. Shout out to DJ Showtime. When I used to come through there, Showtime used to DJ in it. DJ Showtime used to mess with Digging in the Crates crew. He used to be one of like the house DJs at Jimmy's on Fordham. Yep. Yep. Shout. This is for Jimmy's Harlem and all the other Jimmy's, Jimmy Midtown and Jimmy this, Jimmy that. It was just one on Fordham. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That be shout out to DJ Showtime. That's one of the DJs that was in there. I remember. He was like a house DJ. He was a house DJ. When I say house DJ, not the music, but one of the regulars that was there. He was part of the Digging in the Crates crew. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Yep. Yep. So definitely, man. Yeah. So, because the one that Von Zip had, he just wound up. Jimmy was gone for a couple of summers. Something happened with him in the bank. You know what I'm saying? Something happened with him in the bank. You know what I'm saying? Popular Bank, Blanco, they went through a situation and Jimmy disappeared. That and taxes. He came back though. Jimmy owned like, you know what I'm saying? Jimmy owned like 5 or 6 joints, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, yo, JP is probably a troll, JP. It's probably a troll, man. It's probably a troll. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? Most likely it's probably a troll. So you're not gonna get caught up in that. You know what I'm saying? That's just a trolling. You know what I'm saying? You know, some people do anything to get, you know what I'm saying, throw that in the air, and everybody go and see, you know what I'm saying? We're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, Classic New York. We're using Classic New York right now. Now the difference between all 4 or 5 of them was Sammy the Bull, Sammy, Nicky Barnes, Sammy, Nicky Barnes, Preacher. No matter what we say about the guy, the young boy, he never told. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to appreciate the fact that he never ratted. But the streets is a dirty game. No doubt. You know what I'm saying? The streets is a dirty game. And when the rules change in the game, it's what, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're going to pray for all the victims that got shot last night and the night before. Everybody gets a prayer. You pray for everybody, the innocent guy that was shot on 42nd Street, you know, all those victims of violence, senseless street violence. We're going to pray for them all. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's, you know, that's the best we could do is pray for them all, man. And for those that make it back to be alive, change your life, man. Change your life. You know what I'm saying? Do what you need to do to live. Stop living to die. That's one thing my friend used to always tell me, man. He said, yo, at some point, when are we going to live to live instead of living to die, bro? You know what I'm saying? And that's just more of the story, man. Yo, we just talked about a portion in New York that we all can touch on. We just educated the out-of-towners. The out-of-towners. And we all had that same fun of the eatery spots and the love, and it dealt with no violence. Our conversation dealt with no violence right now. That's power. Pan, even people that be like F Zeke jumped in the joint. Like, yo, boom, 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 yo, boom, boom, boom. So just everything, you know what I'm saying? It was just the love. There was no guns. We educated people. I just got some education, you know what I'm saying? But even now I got educated, because I know what I always called it, the new FIFA. And somebody said, nah, it was boom, boom, boom. See? Education. That's what dudes was doing it. There's another club too, the Castle. We can't forget about the Castle where Slick Rick hit Cuzzo up at. But the first time I knew about the Castle was when Lord Finesse did that video. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it was crazy. Yo, I ain't gonna front though, but we was just in a time capsule. Is it me? Or was we just in a time capsule? Yo, that's crazy, bro. That's the first time I ever seen Fat Joe. Crazy as it sounds. The first time I seen him physically was that. But the first time I heard him musically was Red Alert used to play this promo with him and Chia Lee in the Beat Nuts. So I always knew about the Beat Nuts because we would play this promo with them. And then he would play Fat Joe. But the first time I seen him physically was in that video. I'm gonna tell you it was crazy. I never knew. Cause I remember there was a song that was popular in 80, 89. You know what I'm saying? I remember when he played the, what's his name? The Plug One, Plug Two, Plug One. De La Soul. Red Alert was playing that like in 88, 89. Remember, we was like, yo, this is a dope rap group out of Long Island. Plug One, Plug Two, Plug One. Yeah, remember that joint? Yo, remember that joint? We used to play that? And then it was like, I never knew that their DJ was always down with Red Alert. Like, he always was cool with Red. I never knew that the DJ was always cool with Red Alert, man. And then from there, the rest is history with De La Soul. Because remember, we was rocking to that song, you know what I'm saying? We was rocking to that. Remember, we was rocking to De La Soul with that song. Then they made that other song that we seen on Video Music Box. Potholes in my lawn. That beat was hard, though. And we talk about the time when Mr. Magic was still on BLS. Rest in peace, Mr. Magic. Shout out to DJ Chili Q, you heard? You know what I'm saying? Marley Marl and all that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yo, we just had me in a time capsule, man. Wow, this is deep, man. It's a dirty game. Be careful. You know what I'm saying? I have all the killers that we wanna make famous. There's only one that really didn't tell. That joint was crazy. Hell yeah, Mr. Magic lose his mind. You know what I'm saying? He got flamed. But with that being said, that's another show, man. We're gonna take it back to the 90s, man. I'm gonna do another one tonight, you heard? With that being said, I appreciate y'all, man. Definitely book it. I love wifey. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat. Y'all just had me. Let me tell you something. When you start going into the elements of the era, bro, even some people I seen jumped in the head that probably that said F you, Zeke, was like, yo, I remember this spot, Pan, 32nd Street. Yo, boom, we was in a time capsule right now. And then dudes started writing down spots that they would go to on their own. That's what we did in New York. We didn't do what they just didn't pay them for. We was going to spots. Those were spots. That was dope to rent a cab. And somebody asked me what an OJ was. An OJ was renting a cab. Some of them was Grand Furies. Some of them was this Lincolns. And some stuff they gave up to personal cars, you know what I'm saying? But the special thing about the cab was, before I go, the music is blasting. You got Slick Rick, Mona Lisa, because it had to be the beat. It had to be the beat. You blame they got the music in the tape deck. You hear the music blasting. This is before the police started really enforcing the noise audience. It's going crazy. Side block dudes are seeing you coming through. You got a game hat on with the whatever university, Michigan State with the Michigan State shirt. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, you know what I'm saying? You jumping out the joint, you got some white on white uptowns with the straps on them, looking around all crazy like you lost. The game hats, you know, it's the game hats and with the game shirts. Oh, you looking around. Discus sweatpants on. Before champions really blew up in the hood, we was wearing discus sweats and all that. Starter jackets, come on, man. It was crazy. But see, the damage suits, those is more. Shout out to my Rude Boys. You know what I'm saying? We was wearing it with the Rude Boys. They took the damage and all other stuff to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Remember, the Jamaicans was different. They're not what these dudes is doing now. The Jamaicans had the satin slacks with the Ballies or the Clarks with the long dreads and a silk shirt. Those was bona fide Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? And M3s or M5 BMWs. These dudes had the cars and big Uzis. I still ain't never seen a Jamaican run yet. You know what I'm saying? Travel Fox was popping. Yo, we was just in a time capsule. We was just in a time capsule, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, definitely shout out, don't we can't forget about what's some spots, man? The fresh blowouts, remember the chemical blowouts? Oh yeah, the bucket hats. Seafood Haven on 125th. That was another spot we dipped to, right? 125th was at Madison and Fifth Avenue. You jump out, you go get them. I'm saying they had the fish sandwiches at Seafood Haven. I think it's the same block as what's the name got his Al Sharp. They got this thing. I think he bought the build. Somebody bought the building. Then I think Tim Sweet bought the building again. I don't know if it's still there. He named it the Taste of Harlem. It's a different game, man. Remember those joints? The game had with the game shirts, discus sweats, right on white uptowns. You don't get it. We can't forget about the discus sweats, the lucky spot, 125th Street and all that. Come on, man. The game room on 125th and Park Ave. The game room, Metro North train right there. What street was Uptown Comedy Club? Or was that? I think I just said that. Is that the I think I just said it. Seafood Haven, 125th and Madison the 5th. Oh, Spot Bills. Okay, got you. The one I knew about was over there. Oh, you said Spot Bill Sneakers. The one I knew was on 125th thing. But Uptown Comedy Club. Those are where or your new comedian, the comedians that y'all know now perform there, bro. Perform there. Tracy Morgan, Flex, all those comedians that y'all seem to love that came up, they was in there first, Uptown Comedy Club. They was rocking just at the same time as Def Comedy Jam. They actually used to come on ABC on like Saturday nights. Tracy Morgan and all of them. And they humbling beginnings. I know that because my cousin used to book them. There's a spot I still go to, I will go to. I never bought Whitefield. Did I bring Whitefield and I never bought it there? I think it's on 125th where Popeyes is at. When you go on that block, there's a fish spot, but you can actually buy fish sandwiches from. Them shits be banging, bro. You know what I'm talking about. Right by Popeyes, when you go on 125th and you walking going towards 126, on that block by the A train, and you cross the street, it was, the Rachis was crazy. I had the Rachis with the Columbia rain suit, with the Charlotte Hornets, when the Charlotte Hornets first popped off, when they had Mashburn and all of them, when they gave Mashburn all that money for no reason at all. I think that was 7th Avenue. That spot when you Popeyes is on, because Popeyes is always there. Popeyes, and then you make that turn, and it's a fish spot that I think the Chinese people owned it. But they make fish sandwiches there. It's crazy. Classic New York. Yo, with that being said, I gotta get ready to go to work, party people. I gotta get ready to go to work. Yeah, they make the big joint, the porgies and all that. You know what I'm saying? The porgies. I'm telling you, man, this time I go to New York, my wife, I'm gonna snatch some porgies up. You know what I'm saying? I get some porgies in our life. With that being said, man, I gotta end this joint. Shout out to Money D in the building. Shout out to the whole Chicago, Chi-Town. Chi-Town's in the building. Chi-Town finest. We here. You heard? You heard. Shout out to the Midwest. Shout out to everybody that pulled up. Marv Facts. Yep. AJ Lessons being, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Yep. You know what I'm talking about. East 32nd. Yep. Because Popeyes is on the corner. Close the corner. Because my man should be over there. You know what I'm saying? A kid I went to school with, he lived right over there. You know what I'm saying? It's dope, man. You know, I'm definitely in the building, man. Let me, I gotta go, party people. I gotta go to work. Don't want to get fired. I'm going on tonight for the old school. You heard? You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pick another set of killers and mass murderers that decided to cooperate. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that stood up. You know what I'm saying? Just to be clear, shout out to my man Mark Rodriguez, the whole East Harlem. You know, Nightlife for the leg. Shout out to everybody that came through. Wagner, Foster, Cuzzo, Foster Projects. Yo, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something, Lord Pip. I'm gonna tell you something. Oh, yeah, that's in here, right? Where Cuzzo from, right? Now, Foster Projects, I used to be across the street. You had PSA 5 over there. What y'all call PSA 5 was the housing police. Yo, let me tell you something. Foster was a no-fly zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't go to Foster by accident. You didn't go, there was no going to Foster by accident. That's how rough Foster was. Like, if you wanted to walk to Lenox, you either walked on 116th or even took your chance and walked on 111th to get to Lenox. But for you to walk through Foster, you had a problem, bro. Foster was just as lit as Brook Ave, definitely 12th Street. You had a number hole that was on Lenox. You know what I'm saying? Cuzzo, it was crazy because Cuzzo, you didn't go to PS 57, right? See, you went to school with everything on the west side. Your Grace Papaya. There's one on the west side. There's one on 86th Street, and there was one on the other side on the west side. I think by 86th Street. You know what I'm saying? But there was one. I got my first job through D'Agostino's from the Upper West Side. And the first other job I had, other than the flower shop, Daniel's Floors on 86 shots, my man James Money One, the guy who plugged me into that job, was I used to deliver flowers. You know what I'm saying? It was on 34th or 35th and 2nd Avenue. Classic New York, man. I was getting bread. That's something the rich people. High school, it's a high school job. I thought I was rich. So with that being said, party people, a lot of history here. We have some fun tonight. We're going to take it back to the block again. You know what I'm saying? In a positive way, man. Yo, we just had fun throwing it back. Oh, you worked on the one on 68th? I worked on the one on 34th, 35th, 36th, and 2nd Avenue. Yep. I had to deliver food cards, the groceries. Mind you, that zip code was rich. I was getting $30 tips. I was getting more tips. Mind you, this is an after-school job, bro. I was getting more money in tips. I was switching up sneakers like I was hustling. That's how much tips I was getting, bro, a day. Remember, it's part-time job. It's after school, so I went from like 3 to close. I was making like $80 to $100 a day sometime in tips. 60, 70. We're talking about 1989. Do you know what $80 was a day that you get paid on Friday, $1.40? I thought I was the richest guy in the world. You hear me? I'm buying sneakers on a Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? So I'm there, you know, he said after school job. Only difference was there was no D'Agostino's in the hood. I was delivering the food. Remember that big cart? I'd be walking around 34th Street. I went as far as like 14th Street, and I did on 1st Avenue. I worked there. He's had 2 packs. Now, before I go, this is how I got the job. There's a girl named MC Precious. She was down to Jew School also, Peaches, whatever her name is. Her mother was a teacher in my class, in my school. My school was a business school, so she had a class, Norman Thomas. She had a class that was getting us to get jobs. It was like a job placement job where we filled out, we learned how to make resumes and do interviews and boom. So she had some type of connections. That's how I met one of the twins of Malcolm X's daughters, because she was cool with the teacher. My teacher, so she would come in kicking about Malcolm X. I used to cut class in her class. So I be on a high-speed chase. Shout out to my man Hector Mendez. We be on a high-speed chase, my nigga Hector Jeff. And I was ducking to her class. So one day she said, so the security guy said, he's always wanted in your class was Crackino. He was like, yo, do you want to, good morning. You know what I'm saying? Hood stars in the building. So they used to be like, yo, well, do you want to, is he in your class? So she told the school girl, like, yeah, he in my class. So she said, yo, now that I said you in my class, you got to go us on this job thing, this job interview. Bet. Frank was popping. So I said, oh, okay. So I filled out the application. I went the next day, and we went to the D'Agostino's in the 80s. Allah, you know, the God of Allah know I'm talking, Father Allah know I'm talking about, over there by like Broadway. I went there, I did the interview, got the job. They sent us to different locations. D'Agostino's a high-end grocery, so in all the rich areas. And he sent me to 36th Street and 2nd Avenue, bro. Yo, my man, do you know what it was like 1989, bro? On a good day, if I drop some groceries off on cause I had that whole area, 36, 37, 47. I'm dropping groceries off on 34th Street, getting $50 tips. Mind you, I'm not going upstairs. I'm going to doorman buildings. I'm going to the back of the building, and I'm dropping groceries off in the back of the building. Cause I can't go through the front doors. I have to go through the side. If they told me to go all the way up, I was a winner. You know what I'm saying? If they let me in the building, if the client goes, yo, send them upstairs with the groceries, I was guaranteed to get, boom, here, take this buck. One day I made like $400 in tips, bro. It's my 1989. My mans was struggling on the block. You know what I'm saying? That's when everybody went to sell weed. I was killing them. So there's nothing wrong with getting a job. I'm telling you, man, that casino shit, I was in love. Then I was like, I got to see the upper, I got to be in that part of Manhattan where the money was at. Since I got to see a lot of buildings. That's what I knew about doorman buildings, you know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. I had no bills. You know what I'm saying? This is an after school job. Mind you, I still got paid on Friday. So with the tips, boom. Yes. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's why I know. And I'm gonna tell you how I got that job. See, my man Money got me the job at the flower shop without no working papers, because he was cool with Dano, the guy who owned it. But I got the job at the spot because my man D from 118th, shout out to my man D, you know D, from 118th between Lex and 3rd, his mother was the nurse in our school. So my man D was like, yo, Zeke, man, you want to get money, man? Yo, you need to get working papers because you can't work in these spots. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be outside all day. My man, we talking about this is a 1989 conversation. She's like, my mom's is a nurse. Let's go set it to schedule a day. You got to see a nurse to get working papers. I had the green ones first. Was it the green ones you get first and then you get the other ones? Hell yeah. I got the working papers. So when I had the working papers, when I was doing all the ripping and running around, I got to use them because I couldn't get the job at D'Agostino's without the working papers. To this day, salute to my man D. This is my man D from 118th between Lex and 3rd. Y'all know him. His mother was a nurse in Norman Thomas High School. He was telling me, yo, come on, man, go get some working papers, man. You get a job in the Gap. That's what everybody was working in the Gap. Remember the Gap? And like, yo, say, go get a job, man. This is work. His mom was the school nurse. He was like, yo, just go up there and set a schedule up. You want to get an appointment. I did it on my own. I went up there, yo, I want to get my working papers. He said, I got to see a nurse. Boom, 1, 2, 3, boom. My mother signed off on it. Whoop. I had working papers. Those working papers benefited me economically. Some of youth jobs, that D'Agostino job, some of youth, you looking crazy. Hell yeah. You got the green ones. I remember that. I had a blue one. It was like working papers up. Then you had the 15. You got the green ones. The green ones was the win. Because then you could work like from 4 to or 3 to 9. It's the facts. So what we're saying right here, your kids could do. And I got that, not from my mom was telling me to do this. A guy I went to school with was like, yo, Zeke, get some working papers, man. Go get a job, bro. So I said, yo, how you got a job at the Gap? I had working papers. How I get working papers? My mom's. And I ain't gonna front, them working papers benefit me with some of youth jobs and all that. The paperwork game benefits you, then you waiting on the pack. You know what I'm saying? Or wait for somebody to cook for you. That was a lot of money, man. That's why me and my man just fly. Yep, I can work at night. That's what this paper is about. Those are the winning papers, the green ones. You know what I'm saying? This is a fact. You ain't got no bills, you caking. We made tips every day delivering them groceries. All I had to do was come to work. Yo, with that being said, man, Yo, man, I'm out. I'm definitely. As you see, I always about that money, man. You know what I'm saying? That being said, I appreciate y'all. We're gonna do this later. Yo. Shaq Brim is in the building, man. Salute to Shaq Brim, man. I like that thing you did on TikTok yesterday. That was dope. Everybody salute Shaq Brim, man, because he just said that was dope. Him and his wife are speaking about how they're raising their family and they're doing all they have to do to keep their kids from getting caught up. Because you gotta make sure a home is good, is perfect first. Salute to you, Shaq. Salute, bro. Definitely you and man do, man. Y'all are trendsetters, man. You would never know that you did that much time as you done just watching you on TikTok and you living your life and raising your babies, man. You appreciate your kids, man. That man appreciate his kids. And that's what's real, bro. That man appreciate his kids. He don't want to see his kids go through nothing that he's going through. And he's showing it, man. I battled, they destroyed me in the battle, though. But he's enjoying it, man. And that's real, man. You gotta save yours first before you save anybody else's, you know what I'm saying? And that's therapeutic right there. You know what I'm saying? That's how you cleanse your soul of anything you did that was devastating, you know what I'm saying? For real, man. With that being said, man, for real, man, you know what I'm saying? Definitely. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all that came through. You know what I'm saying? You gotta cleanse your soul. Sometimes cleansing your soul is just, yo, you know what? For my mistakes, my kids is just not gonna go through what I went through. You know what I'm saying? Free cheese. We all hate that shit. You know what I'm saying? No thrills. Now of us know and learn how to fight because there's no thrills. Yo, I just took us back to, yo, we got a show tonight. We're gonna do a show tonight, party people. We're gonna take it back to the old school, man. You know what I'm saying? This was a dope show, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Come through tonight, you heard? I gotta go to work. But that being said, I appreciate y'all. I gotta get myself together, man. This was a dope live, man. You know what I'm saying? We learn from the killers and the villains. One thing to do, stay out the streets. Is a dirty game. Find some legal shit to do. Stop thinking somebody won't tell on you because they will tell on you. I don't give a fuck who they, your boss, your big homie, or God. Somebody tell on you. So what I'm going to say is not God, but anything that you look at as God is liable to tell on you. Let's find something legal to do, man. Communicate with guys that want to see you win. Like I told you, I got my working papers because my man D. D from 118th between Lex and 3rd. Shout out to him and his moms. His moms was a school nurse in Norman Thomas High School. And that was 89. Bop. With that being said, deuces.